We live in the information age, the age of the computer, of the worldwide internet, of the smartphone. Decades, centuries of information can now fit neatly into our pockets, and knowledge is at our fingertips. Our ability to be well-read, well-versed, and well-thought has never been easier. And yet, we are losing our ability to think critically, to analyze the world around us, and to make sense of that world. In such a world where information is handed to us on a digital platter, we consume its contents without a second thought. We let others do our thinking for us, while forgetting how to think for ourselves. What a troubling paradox. People didn't always take knowledge for granted. Books were once a luxury, an item to be cherished and used and loved deeply. Yes, books used to be alive. Reading used to be an experience, one that shaped the person who read it. Now, people look at a book as something to be finished, to be scanned, to be solved, to be flipped through. Instead of annotating, students assume everything is important or nothing is.
We need to remind people that books matter, and why. For when we read literature and engage deeply with the words on the page, we grow as human beings. Literature is a window into the human experience. Through reading and studying literature, we learn not only to understand others, but to understand ourselves. We get to see some of history's greatest minds at work and learn from what they have to say. We learn how to dig for meaning underneath the surface, and we learn that meaning is complex, that there is not just one way to interpret a text. We become comfortable with asking questions that may have multiple answers or no answers at all. Most importantly, we learn to find our own answers and create our own meaning. We learn to think differently, to formulate our own ideas. And when we close a book, the journey does not end there. Indeed, we never really close a book, for that book continues to shape us long after we set it down. Literature is a reflection of the human experience. It is through literature that we know ourselves and continue to grow.
When I told my parents I wanted to major in English, they, like many parents, were skeptical. And at first, when they would ask me about my future, I didn't have a good answer for them. I'd simply reply, "I'll figure it out." And even worse, their skepticism used to fill me with doubt. Why English? I'd ask myself. Now, I realize that I don't have to figure it out, or even know why. English doesn't need to be defended. It defends itself. This modern world we live in needs people like us. We know how to think for ourselves. We know how to make meaning for ourselves because we know ourselves. No matter how many people scoff at English majors for indulging in literature and not knowing why they're doing it or what job they'll get with it, the skills we acquire, reading analytically, writing clearly, thinking critically, communicating effectively, are indispensable and are useful everywhere. As English majors, we shouldn't fear uncertainty. We should be intrigued by it. The doors of opportunity are not closed to us. We create them. So pick a door, any door. You won't be disappointed, and neither will they.